Is anybody out there? I'm just updating the stuff. How do I change the thumbnail? Just take a live one. I hate how it saves what I did last week. It uses that as the default. That is weird. I guess that's for people who always have the same stream. Yo guys, gonna play some Call of Duty. What? Man, this is gonna be shitty if no one's here. What? No, just take a picture. Oh god. I'll change the thumbnail later. Okay, whatever. Save. Sculpting viewer requests. Wednesday stream. Okay, we have one concurrent viewer. Fantastic. If there's anyone out there, please help me. I need to know what I'm supposed to sculpt. So, let me know what you want me to sculpt. Anything you want to know how to sculpt? Because I can do whatever. Let's make sure that this is the right mic. Also, sorry about the wiggliness. My camera is mounted on an arm on a light, and it wiggles around. Okay. I guess I should have something to sculpt if no one requests anything. Please save me from myself. Alright, what needs to get sculpted? There's always Gun Beast. There's always Gun Beast. That is not what I should do something on this guy. Here's a Gun Beast of a different variety. Let's see how this is looking. Can't really tell with focus. Because I needed to finish some stuff on this guy, but what did I need to finish? So this is a Tyranid Warrior, Venom Cannon Warrior that I did a while back, but kept thinking that I wasn't finished yet, but am I finished? It looks pretty close to done. Do I need to clean anything up? That's blended. That's blended. That is more or less good. Oh, I think I had to fix these. I think these are wonky. Oh, that doesn't. Oh, that's not good. Why is that loose? Oh shit! Maybe just throw some more glue on it and hope for the best. Pray to the sculpting gods. I was thinking armor plates. So these armor plates are done. Jacob! Audio sounds echoey. Okay, good to see you, man. Does that sound any better? Is that position better? I'm using my normal mic, but let me know how that sounds. Shit. I wonder why the audio would sound echoey. Oh, that's really pissing me off. I'm going to smear it in super glue. How does the audio sound now? Which one is it? What's this one? Oh, that's going to really piss me off. Okay, maybe that'll fix it. No, that's not better. What do I do about the audio? Because I've got my normal mic set. I wonder if it's somehow pulling from two mics? Let's see. Audio capture. Settings. Filters. What the heck's a filter? No, that doesn't look like what I'm looking for. Crackle-like. Okay, wait. Crackle-like feedback. Maybe this. Is that any better? Try and plug in the mic and plug it back in. Are you guys still getting feedback? I can switch off this mic to something else. Maybe this is faster. Hello, hello. What would you like me to sculpt tonight? Tonight is listener requests, and I really hope you have requests, because I'm not really sure what I'll be doing otherwise. Cleaning up this card effects. Filling in some junk. Can you hear me? I think that sounds better. Okay, so Adam thinks that sounds better. Jacob, the last thing I got from you was a no. Does Jacob think that sounds better? Because I had a fan on. Oh, you bastard. Do not. Okay, seriously. I have a short amount of time tonight, but I still wanted to do something. So, do you guys have any listener requests? What do you want me to sculpt? What have you been like, hey, how the heck would this work? I don't know if this is going to actually work, but let's try it. Adam said Space Marine. Space Marine, there's a lot of sculpting on a Space Marine. I don't know if that's such a wise idea. Okay, seriously? I could... Okay, well, what I could do is that there's been stuff I've been meaning to show people how to sculpt. I could just do that. I don't have a model prepared for the purpose, but I could just fudge it on this guy. Okay, you guys are not helping. There's going to be so many people who are like, oh man, I missed that stream. I wish I'd asked him to sculpt blank, but I was not there. What do I have in the way of built unpainted models? That is the question. Sugar. If I was a built unpainted model... Hammer pants? Oh, we can do hammer pants. I just need some legs. Actually, I think this guy... Ah, there we... Oh, well, shit. No, he's open now. Where is the original hammer pants? Ha! Got it. Oh, maybe I've got some... Maybe we can mix things up. Let's scare all the 40k dudes. So Jacob is asked to sculpt hammer pants. I know, I should do a poll on Insta. Jacob, don't worry. Just go mad with your power that you have in this moment of making me sculpt hammer pants. So a long time ago I bought this because the Hydra's a bastard. He's like, check out this game called Infinity. It's the bee's knees. It's the cat's pajamas. And I was like, okay, yeah, Infinity. Well, this looks pretty cool. This has got a bunch of different models in it. And if you know anything about Infinity, I wanted to do JSA. So Japanese sectorial. Oh, here you go. Look at this. Okay, this is gonna work. Are these guys all hammer pants? Yeah, I think so. I wanted to do JSA, Japanese sectorial. At the time, they weren't like a big thing. They weren't hip yet. But then they became hip. And, here's this guy that I converted a long time ago. I was trying to convert him to match that bounty hunter dude that they released. I think I converted him to some Pano guy, because fuck Pano. But, okay. So these are Infinity models, but I can use them to show you sculpting stuff. So, I was supposed to do Japanese sectorial, because Japan is awesome, and because in the Infinity world they're oppressed by the Chinese. No comment. And in order to make these guys more Japanesey, they needed to have... We got these, like... God, what are those pants called? I really should know what these pants are called. But, like, Japanese workmen wear these, like, really flowy pants. And the Japanese units in Infinity have these pants. But the Yuching, which is the overarching army that the Japanese are part of, they don't have the hammer pants. So, Jacob, were you asking about hammer pants? Who was talking about hammer pants recently? So the idea was to give them pants like this. So like, oh, I've got a setting for this. One moment, please. How about this? Can you see that? Yep. I'm not on my standard setup. I'm on like a side setup. So see these pants? These are kind of like flowy parachute pants. We call them hammer pants. Someone was asking about doing this, and I'm like, that's super easy. I can show you how to do that. So this guy's got two sides of his pants, whereas these people, I only got like one in. One side in, so I could finish up some of these hammer pants. Oh, she's going to be a pain to sculpt because she's got a pistol mounted there, and anyway. So yeah, let's do some pants. I could do it on the new ones, but I guess I'll do it on the old ones and finish a set. Okay, so here we go. Today's how to sculpt hammer pants, thanks to Jacob Foster. Okay, so first thing you do is what you always do. You mix up your green stuff and you mix up your epoxy sculpt. Oh, I just reloaded this thing. There we go. So green stuff, you want 60% yellow. Oh, I shouldn't mix up that much. I'm not going to be sculpting very much today. To 40% yellow. 60% yellow to 40% blue, because that's the way they come in the pack. And that's the way they're meant to mix. Maybe a little bit more blue. If you mess up, or if you change this proportion, you'll just get green stuff that is harder or softer and cures slightly faster or slightly slower. You're probably not going to notice the difference. For years, I was mixing my green stuff 1-to-1 because I was a noob. And I didn't realize that when I bought green stuff, there was less blue and more yellow. And then I kept running out of yellow, or running out of blue. So there's that. And then we'll get some epoxy sculpt to mix with it. Hakama. Thank you, Adam. Yes, these are called Hakama. They're not called hammer pants. I believe that is the name for the Japanese floofy pants. Okay. Hakama. Not to be confused with Hakama, which is not how you pronounce it. Which is not just a, weeb nerd thing. It's that the emphasis is on the first syllable and not the second syllable. So when we pronounce Japanese things, we say things like Tokyo and Kyoto. And the Japanese are face-palming because they pronounce those things as Tokyo and Kyoto because the emphasis is on the first syllable. But yes, these are definitely Hakama. Belts and buckles. If you want to do this again, do a pull. Yeah, belts and buckles not that exciting, but hammer pants are good. So Jacob, you want to use hammer pants on your Kroot or no? Okay, this video looks very bright. Let's see if we can fix that. Webcam settings. Oh, that's looking a little less glary. That's good. Okay. Oh, what have I done? So Jacob and Adam, thanks for joining me on this weird last-minute stream. As I mentioned on the previous stream, next week's is going to be a special blowout edition when the UK and Europe-based people finally get their way, and the stream happens not at Vampire Clock. So I haven't really decided on the times yet, but I will publish them at least a day in advance, if not 2 days in advance. But if you're in the UK, expect to be able to watch the stream at about 7 or 8 p.m. your time, or like in Europe, 7, 8, 9 p.m. I'm going to be starting in the afternoon my time because I'm off next week. So what better way to spend my day off on Work in Progress Wednesday than with all of you fancy people? Okay, so just mixing the green stuff together and then mixing the epoxy sculpt together and then combining the two to make epoxy green. This is stretchy like green stuff, but it's soft like epoxy sculpt. It's my favorite material. It's still very sticky though, so make sure you wet your fingers with water so that it doesn't stick to them. And if you're feeling fancy, use some water. Sorry, if you're feeling fancy, put on some gloves and wet your gloves. So Jacob says, yeah, for my Kroot Samurai, I really need to work on. Yes, you can use these pants on your Samurai Kroot. They will look great. Oh, man, I wish I had some of those Bird Boys, the Warcry Bird Boys, because they have kind of samurai pants. that we could use as a reference. So if you look at these pants, they bulge out like to the knee, and then they're kind of like tucked into the boot. Like that's the idea we were looking for there. And then you can also add stuff like I think on the Infinity models they have these kind of like, they look like snaps or buttons along the side, and that's easy with a stamp. Like we did a stamp tool before. But in order to be successful with these, you put a blob on, and then you use so I haven't actually sculpted these, I think, in 2 years. I can go back and check Instagram. So I'm kind of going to remember how to do this myself. But from what I recall, what you want to use is something like this, a flat silicone shaper. That one, a tapered wedge silicone shaper. I got a bunch of them. I hope I don't need a really small one. Do I have a small one? Okay, well, this one's pretty small. That'll be okay. Yeah, so those are going to be more useful for this. And then you get out your Nivea for lubricating your tools. Okay, so get some Nivea. I keep it on the back of my hand. Just make sure you don't wipe your nose with this part of your hand, or you'll have a very well moisturized nose and not a lot of lubricant. But then you might have snot on the back of your arm and hand, and how good would that be for lubricating your tools? Okay. So I'm going to cheat and do one that's going to be easy. Her legs are close together. That's kind of a problem. I could do her, but she's got a pistol right there, so it might be hard to sculpt around. Let's pick someone who's got their legs very wide and has nothing. Let's pick Solid Snake here. That's what he kind of looks like. Oh man, the pewter is like shining. Got my settings a little bit out of whack. Let's see if I can fix this quickly. Where's the focus? Please forgive me. This is going to get worse before it gets better. Okay, that is out of focus. Stop wiggling. Is out of focus. Let's see. So if I do this, and if I do... Oh, okay, that is a bit dramatic. But we do get more detail. And what if we do this? No, that's not getting better. It's getting worse. Oh! Okay, sorry, I shouldn't be doing this live. What the heck? God, what are you paying me for? Nope, that's not better. That's worse. Oh my God! Okay, talk amongst yourselves for a second. The flicker is not helping, is it? Okay, and let's... Okay, next time I do this on my normal settings. Oh God. I am just breaking things. Okay, forget it. I'm gonna switch to this and deal with it. Well, that's not bad. I think it's having trouble focusing on him because he's so bright. But you can kind of see his pants. Okay, let's do his pants, because his are going to be the easiest. He's got lots of room. So, you get a blob of your epoxy green stuff. You blob it onto his thigh. And I'm going to cheat. He's got a little holster there. So I'm going to attempt to... Actually, let's get obnoxious. I'm going to attempt to blob around his holster to preserve it. I could try and fix the exposure, but I think it would just be more frustration than it's worth at this point. So you want to taper... So if you look here, it's like the pants are thinnest, where they kind of tuck into his waist, and then they become thick here, and then they kind of tuck under. So you want to duplicate that kind of, I don't know, saggy eye drop, saggy teardrop look. So yeah, I'm just keeping it clean around his holster so that it's still there. Yeah, so bring it down. least amount of putty up at the top, and then balloons out at the bottom. And then you want these faces to be more or less flat, but you can do that after. And then you do the tuck in under. Actually, right now this tool might be better for that. Is he on him? Is he a tad? Oh god, is he glued? Nope, he's not. Okay, good. That'll help. Because I couldn't really get in here. And now I've gone and messed it all up. Fantastic. So, like I said before, flat kind of faces coming down to this kind of... And you can see there's like... Let's see, where are you? There's an angle here, and then an angle here, and then an angle in under. So you can kind of replicate that. So he's going to have a long angle here, and he's going to have a kind of a shorter angle here, or a face, kind of a facing, and then he's going to have the tuck under. This is not enough putty for the whole set of pants, so I should add some more to the back. Okay, let's add some more. Which just makes it easier to shove my finger in it. Hello, compatriots. What is that? I'm glad you two are here because otherwise I'd be sculpting alone. So thanks for hanging out. I guess that's what happens when you warn people last minute. / don't start at 8 p.m. when everybody's hanging out waiting for the sculpting to start. Are there any other people? It says there's 12 people here. If there's anybody else here who wants to chime in and say hi, please do. Don't make Adam and Jacob do all the work. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can like smear some of this putty around the sides. This is actually very easy to do. I'm hoping that we can get it done and then I can move on to something else. So if anyone else has a request for what they want me to sculpt tonight, or they want to learn how to sculpt, please put it in the chat because we might be done this faster than you think, he says now, and watch me obsess over it for the full hour. So I've got the kind of like loose shape now. I'm just kind of refining it and getting the facings where I want them, the edges where I want them. The back is not quite there yet, but the back is not as important as the front. Most people are going to look at the front of the model. So you get these pleats. Hakama pleats here. Oh shit. Steve Watts. Random Brit giving you butchers. I used to know what butchers rhymed with. What is that? Butcher shop. I don't know. That's Cockney rhyming slang, isn't it? Apparently I'm not cool enough. I used to be fluent in Britishisms. Not anymore. Not since I stopped dating my limey girlfriend. I lost my abilities. She was a nice lass, and she taught me many important things about the UK. Yeah, the back is not as important. So yeah, anyone just joining the stream, we're sculpting some hammer pants. Samurai pants, Hakama. Wait, is Hakama like some kind of... Isn't that like a weapon? There's 11 people. Mr. Saint Pitt, thanks for saying hi. Jonas Malhan, you totally forgot. You're an asshole. You're disowned. You're no brother of mine. I'm glad you could join us, Jonas Malhan. Bob Latchlaw. Bob, I think I've seen you here before. Hello there. Butcher's Hook. A look! Okay, that's what it is. Thanks, Steve. Thanks for helping me out there. God, I love Cockney rhyming slang, but I'm not any good at it. Of course, I learned about Cockney rhyming slang the way that everyone learned about Cockney rhyming slang. From Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Okay. Pay attention. Where's the ideal sculpting position? Somewhere in there. I'll try. Okay, so I was just kind of moving around the putty, eliminating seams as I could. Now I'm just trying to get a smooth surface on the fabric so I can start working in the pleats. and taken out any of my fingerprints because there are some. Yes, so as Adam has said on previous streams, if you have a reference picture, that's the best way to do it. However, I'm lazy, so I just kind of get an idea of what it wants to look like in my head and go for it. And hope for the best. Jonas, are they Hakama? Is that the name for the construction worker pants? Do you remember? Do you know? Can you confirm this? Yeah, it's crazy. Like, to this day, like, we think of these as like samurai pants, but Japanese construction workers will legit wear these on construction sites. This is what their work pants look like. And I don't really know why. Someone once told me that it's like if they fall, their pants get stuck in the bamboo scaffolding, because they have that too. And then like it'll stop them from falling, but I think that's probably not the reason that they wear them. Maybe it's just a tradition thing. Who knows? So now I'm trying to work in the faces out on the fabric. Let's see. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. That's good. And like, if you look at the different pants that I've sculpted, they're not all uniform. So I'm not that concerned. Let's remind myself how I did this. Okay. Yeah, whenever I'm sculpting fabric, people are like, how do you sculpt fabric? How do you sculpt hoods and stuff? I kind of get it into a rough shape, and then I just kind of like follow the shape that it's showing me it wants to go into. And more or less, most of the time that works. Okay. Toby pants? Nika Polka pants? That sounds like you're making shit up. Okay. So, sticking my finger in the back of it, that's not good. So yeah, you just want to make sure that like it looks like they tuck into the boots at the bottom. That it goes in, like there's a little bit of an angle there. Again, not essential, because no one is really going to be looking closely at your pants. If they are close enough, that's good enough. You can still see his gun poking out there, that's good. I feel like I should bring more putty around the side here. Sculpt in infinity. What the heck? What's become of me? Pants are pants. As Jacob showed, people in 40K can also wear hammer pants. Like Kroot. Samurai Kroot. This camera is in a weird position. Okay, I should just do it. Just commit, and then worry about it once you've committed. So, how I've done it here is that the pleats all go the same way. So like this, like this, like this, like this, like this to there. And then there's like another set of pleats that go the back way. And I kind of like that. I like having this like thicker part here with the snaps on it. And I guess that's what I did with her. I think there's another one where I have a central pleat. Yeah, this one is kind of like a central pleat. I don't know. Let's do that. Oh wait, what does his other leg look like? Okay, his other leg is the pleats going over to the side. Although this is annoying because that was easy to access with my tool. This is going to be harder to access. But whatever. Figure it out. So I'm literally going to just go like this with the edge of the silicone shaper tool. So, and push this pleat in underneath. Actually, that's where the snaps should be. So I'm going to do it here too. And you don't have to do as many pleats as I do. You could do fewer pleats, by all means. I'm kind of redefining the top angle of the pleat so that it goes in there. And then you want to continue it down to where it goes into the boot. See that? So, yep, pleat goes all the way up. And it's kind of like you're giving the illusion that it's tucking in under here. Same with this one. The only thing is that the pleats can be... Oh, that's bad. Frack. I've got weird, like, tool marks. The pleats can be wide up top, but they really need to kind of taper in together down here because the pants are bunching down here. So see how there's like a kind of angle pointing towards the ankle there? Where are you focused? Okay, there-ish. Yeah, so it gets kind of like a triangular shape here where the point is where the boot is. You just want to continue this pleat. And they can kind of taper in at the top too, because they should be kind of bunching at the top. This is fun, because I got to get in here. Frack. And then you can also like take the upper pleat and kind of extend it out over the lower one, both to smooth it and to kind of reinforce the tucking. Of course, then you can obsess over it and screw it all up. This one is tough, but just do it. Yeah, it's hard to get in there. His other leg's in the way. Oh, whoops. It's 9:30. And then... So the key thing here is when I'm sculpting these, I'm not coming at it like this with the tool. I'm on an angle. So the flat part is digging in under the previous pleat. I'm not loving the effect yet. Okay, let's see if my handy dandy spoon tool can save me. This one's looking okay. Let's get this one looking a little better. This is another reason why you don't want to sculpt everything at once, why you should always be patient when you're sculpting and work in layers, because if this was still wet, I'd be... No, that's not a good thing to do right now. I'd be kicking the crap out of it. It would be bad. I would be ruining it completely. But it's good that it's dry so that I can push against it. So I'm just trying to smooth out the upper layers of these. I can already see another kind of like pleat thing forming there. It might not be a pleat, it might just be like a fold in the fabric. So that's what I mean, that like you take the direction the miniature gives you, or the putty gives you, as you're working with it. I'm not going to worry about another pleat in under here because it's kind of hidden between the two legs. But I just want to get these ones nice and set. Ooh, that's not working amazingly. It's not doing what I want it to do. Can I do this? Well, maybe. So yeah, you dig the pleats in under, and then you go back and you flatten them out on top. Kind of give them like a crisp edge where they're pleating. I don't know if these are exactly hammer pants, Jacob, but are these working for your purposes? Why is everyone saying the audio is echoey? Ugh. People say my pencil day. Holy hand grenade. Hey, buddy, welcome back. Hi, Bits Mechanic. I don't know why the audio is echoey. Yeah, so this is cloth clothing with green stuff. This is pleated pants. I'm sorry that the audio is echoey. I'm not really sure what's going on. I am using a different login for my OBS setup for reasons, and it's not the same beautiful login that I had set up so nicely with our last stream. So I'm going to blame that. And and promise you that when I do the mega stream next week, it will not be echoey. I hope. Promise you that with absolutely no basis. Maybe I can do another pleat in here, because it's past the leg now. So for anyone who's just joined the stream, this is an infinity model. I think it's a Zashin. It's a Yuching model from Operation Red Veil, whatever that starter set's called. I think that's what it's called. But when I decided that I wanted to do infinity, briefly, I wanted to do Japanese sectorial, and this was before the Japanese sectorial army was released, so they didn't really have... They had some Japanese models, but they weren't amazing. And I think the Japanese could take Zashin or something, or the Japanese had like some version of a Zashin, but they didn't have a model for it. So I decided to take the cool Yuching Zashin, which I really like, and turn them into Japanese sectorial guys by giving them those kind of parachute-y Hakama pants that the other Japanese models had. And it's a very easy thing to do. So today when Jacob Foster jokingly asked me to sculpt hammer pants, I was like, hey, I could actually do that. These are useful for like anyone who you want to like make kind of look like a samurai, I guess. They're vaguely samurai pants. What if you need or have a situation? Yeah, thanks, Jacob. I'm taking requests tonight, but I can only go till 10, so this isn't going to be a very long stream. So I thought, what better way to do than answer your sculpting questions? So if you have sculpting questions, please put them in the comments. If there's anything you want to learn how to sculpt, sculpting problem you want me to solve for you, I can try. Okay, so now it's starting to get in the back, and my pleats are getting a little weird. Jacob, I should just make you the comments moderator. That would be really helpful, because you're already doing it. Okay, so got the pleats kind of going around. This pleat is a little big in here, but it more or less works for my purposes. Maybe I can flatten it out. So this is looking pretty angular. So a way that you can cheat and make it look more fabric-y is by putting like an additional little bunch in between each pleat, like something like that, coming out for where it's tucked into the boot. That gives it a slightly more fabric feel. And it also pokes in the fabric where it's supposed to be tucking into the boot. You can poke in the pleats as well. Again, no one's going to really look at this part because it's under the model. But, you know, it's nice. If you were to replicate this shit. Yeah. Oh God, what am I looking for? Replicate this technique somewhere else where you could see the fabric. It's good to have the bunchy bits at the bottom to make it look a little more fabric-y and a little less angular. You can kind of extend them up a bit. That helps with the fabric illusion. See that? See, I get to them over here. Yep, sorry about the audio issues. I don't know what the hell's going on. Hopefully they fix themselves. Not tonight maybe, but next time. You can also do that similar kind of like fabric fold like other places, like here. You don't want to overdo it because then your fabric will look like bunchy and not as freshly starched as these Japanese sectorial dudes keep their hammer pants. If you don't know why we're calling these hammer pants, it's an MC Hammer reference. It's a 90s reference. Look it up. All you need to know is stop. Hammer time. Ooh. Okay, what did I do here? So big fat one and then a pleat in behind. Let's do the pleat in behind here. So there's not as much like crazy angles back here, as there is here, where you have it like coming out and then in. That's fine. Like here, it's this. I kind of mailed it in, and that's pretty lazy. Has 2 mics picking up audio. You know, that could be the situation, but I don't know how to fix that because I've got a video capture device, and it is got a mic on it, but I have it set for video. Oh shit! You know what? You're right. There are 2 mics. Oh my god! Wait, let me do something. All right, how does that sound? Did I just fix the problem? I think I did. Is it much better now? Is it not horrible anymore? Is it not echoey? I had 2 mics on because I'm a noob. Chris Cross passed away? Chris Cross died? You mean like Chris and Cross? Both of them? Jesus, that is sad. How did they both die? Was it some kind of like car accident that they were both in? Although, to be honest, I haven't thought about Chris Cross since like the 90s likely. So I feel a bit bad about that. But that sucks that they passed away. Although all I know is Chris Cross is going to make you jump, jump. This is the 90s when rap was almost pop music for like little white kids like me. I still remember being a little white kid and asking my very white aunt for MC Hammer. Can't remember what the album's called. Oh god, I hope I asked her for MC Hammer. I really hope I didn't ask her for Vanilla Ice. But it could well have been Vanilla Ice. Yay, audio's fixed. Yeah, I fucked up. Okay, who saved me? It was Holy Hand Grenade that saved me, wasn't it? Oh no, who was it? Who saved me? Oh, it was Harpy. Harpy saved me. Thanks for saving me, Harpy. It was indeed 2 mics. You got it. Yeah, so when I was a kid in the 90s and MC Hammer was like the bee's knees, the cat's pajamas. Notice how white I am. I went to my aunt and I'm like, she's like, what do you want for your birthday or Christmas? I'm like, oh, I want MC Hammer. Get me MC Hammer. I want an MC Hammer tape, not a CD. This was back in the day. Take a drink. And I was like, yeah, I want an MC Hammer tape. And she didn't actually talk to me about it. But I think what she did is she looked up MC Hammer and she's like, rap? What is this rap? What is this rap music? Although, like, her kids went on to have their favorite movie be, oh God, what was it? Jonas, what was it? Rocky Horror Picture Show. Her 2 little kids who were like 6 and like 9. They were the ones who showed me these 2 little girls, the Rocky Horror Picture Show. So I guess she did something right raising her kids because she got them into Rocky Horror. But yeah, she did not want me to have MC Hammer. So can you guess what she bought me instead of buying me MC Hammer? What could be the most un-MC Hammer 90s band, pop band, that someone could get if their aunt was determined not to get them MC Hammer? Okay, what I'm also doing is I'm doing like little kind of pockets at the end of the pleats. That can sometimes help. Again, that's something that I knew to do before and then forgot about. So, oh shit, I got my finger in this one. So you go and like at the point where it bends, you kind of dig the tool in and get like a little pocket in there. It's nice. You can do it from the bottom as well. So like kind of pull it out a bit at the end. Does anyone have a guess for what she got me instead of MC Hammer? Jonas Malhand, you don't get to guess because I think you probably know the story. Vanilla Ice or NSYNC? Okay, good guess, but Backstreet Boys and NSYNC were actually more recent. They were not around when MC Hammer was around. So the answer is the predecessors to NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. New Kids on the Block. She got me friggin' New Kids on the Block. She's like, here's some good wholesome music and not that crazy rap music that all the children are hipping and hopping and bipping and bopping to. So I got friggin' New Kids on the Block tape. And I was not happy. I was like, oh, thanks. Yeah, okay. I don't know that I probably listened to it a bit, but not very much. The only issue you get is that, so the pleats are going in this way, and then here at the back the pleats are going in that way. And then here I've started the pleats going in this way, and then you get a point where the pleats are going both ways. So then you just gotta pick a solution. and get it done. So I want this pleat to go this way. So I'll do that. And get it. Always want to get your pleat folding into the boot as well. And then I'll just leave this like crease thing, and then that will be the weird part between the two pleats. Oh, the raccoons are brawling on the roof again. Don't know if you, I'm assuming you can't hear that, but they're up there, scaring the bejesus out of me with their freaky raccoon screams. You still seeing this? Ah, you're still more or less seeing this. So I'm doing that angle to get them go into the pant. This can get a little messy at times, but just kind of like, think of it as like a wheel and all the spokes radiate from the pant. You want them to kind of point into the center of it, but it's not perfect, and it doesn't need to be perfect. Okay. Yeah, it was cool. I like figured out how to do this, and then Hydra like pointed me at this Infinity Facebook group, and he's like, you should post them on this big Infinity Facebook group. So I posted them on this big Infinity Facebook group, and I got like 3 people message me immediately being like, hey, can I commission you to do that for me? I was like, yeah, I could do that for you. So yeah, I got I think 2 actual commissions out of it. Sculpting some hammer pants on some Zashin for people. Getting some Japanese sectorial out there. But now they released, I think they released Japanese sectorial troops. I don't actually follow Infinity anymore. Because honestly, it got too stressful. There's just new stuff all the time. Before I could even get my stuff painted or like interested or anything, it was like, yeah, 1,000 books have been released. It's like, oh, okay, great. And Infinity's cool in that it's more kind of more RPG than 40k. Like you roll d20s, but there's all kinds of different rules to represent. Like you can, I think you can actually run out of ammo. No, I don't know. I can't remember that part. But it felt more kind of real. It felt like cover actually mattered, and like you used like laser pointers to like check it and stuff like that. Yeah, it felt a little more real and funky than 40k. And honestly, if I lived on the same side of the ocean as my buddy Hydra, I probably would be playing Infinity. Well, I would have played Infinity, but I don't. And I kind of looked into the Infinity scene here in Toronto, but the reality was that I went back to my one true love, which is alien space monsters. Space monsters. Yes. Alien space monsters. Some part of that is redundant. So I'm just cleaning it up now, more or less. If you do this and you find that the pleats look too angular, then you probably just need to go in and put some like more folds in them. Just take like a silicone shaper cone tool and just kind of run like a little pleat down the middle of them. That can make them look a little more fabric-like. Maybe a pleat over the fold. Nope, that was a bit extreme, but whatever. And then putting the pleats in the bottom part, because that's where they're really bunching. It's a good place for them. Okay, Jacob, I'm done. I'm going to call it. That is how to sculpt hammer pants. So you do that kind of teardrop shape. You get like a flat-sided silicone shaper, and you get like an angle here. You get the angle in underneath. I had 3 angles, but it's kind of become the flat angle on top and then kind of like a tuck in underneath, which, not so bad. Oh, I should do the last part, which is this. Okay, now that I've more or less sculpted him, I'm going to put him into this base. Wow, this base is really weird. Is that a real base? It's got to be a real base. Man, Infinity, you got weird bases. This is a part where I don't break them. Oh, there, okay, good. And then I get out a stamp. Pen tips. What? It looks like I did like a round stamp, and then I did like a pointy, a punch in the middle for those. I did 3 of them. Oh, this is the same thing we fought with last time, where I don't have my stamps mounted on anything. Great. So I'm going to do that along here. This is going to be that piece. down there. Ideally, if you were being patient, you would wait until the green stuff had dried a bit, because then it would be less kind of like bulgy. Which stamp am I going to use? That's kind of a big stamp. Is that one? I think it might be that one. Well, let's try it, and hopefully we don't regret it, because those other two look pretty small. And these are just bits out of pencils or pens. Felt tip pens tend to have stuff like this, especially really fine felt tips. So I need 3 dots. That's pretty big, but I don't think it's too big. 2, oh, that's a bad place for 1. 3, it's got a fold in the middle of it. Whatever. Oh, I think these are a little bigger than hers. That's the other thing I like about Infinity. Female models. Can you imagine such a thing? Okay, well, I'm just gonna... Yeah, those are bigger. Yeah, those are way bigger. Okay, whatever. Where's my pokey bit? I got 10 minutes. What do you want me to sculpt in 10 minutes? Oh, that's really thin green stuff. That's not good. Oh, they do not... Fuck, they do not match at all. Okay, I'm... Ah! Okay, I gotta fix this. That is a glaring error. I was like, whatever, who cares? It is a glaring error. So now we gotta mash this stuff back in together and try not to screw up too much of the rest of it. Actually, if I do this, it might work better. Get a soft silicone shaper, a rounded one, to get in there and smooth that out. Mash it all back together. Look at how that, it's just like an eraser. Just like an eraser for green stuff. Erases all your stupid mistakes. Now, the issue is there's not enough putty up there to stamp one, so I'm going to make them smaller now to make them match better, and then keep them lower because they're smaller. I won't need as much room. So I've ruined the flat face of that, so let's see if we can get it back. So much for sculpting something else in 10 minutes. Got cocky. Oh god, I got a hair on him. Oh, who cares? So just keep your tools lubricated with Nivea, of course. Don't forget that part. Okay. Try to flatten that out. Oh god, I can still see it. I don't want to apply too much pressure because it'll push them like that, but I think I have to. So I kind of mashed it, but now I can mash it back. God, why do I still see your... Why do I still see my shame? Go away. Shame. I regret putting that base on him. Oh well. This is more or less okay. Shit. God. Yeah, do it, Jacob Foster. I want to see you. I want to see you make this happen. Your hammer pants. The other thing to know with sculpting green stuff is that if you want like a sharp edge on something, wait longer. Because green stuff, as it cures, it can take a sharp edge better. That looks... Oh, shit. That looks okay. Oh, you know what I did? I did it with the end of a pencil, I think. Oh, well. This one looks too small. This stamp... why don't I just test it? Why don't you just tell me the movie you want to see? Actually, that might be it. Let's do that one. Ah, I shoved my finger in the back. God damn it. This is why you want to watch live sculpting, so you can see what a moron I am. All those things that piss you off about green stuff, they piss me off too, friend. They piss me off too. Okay. All right. Put a little pleat in there. Yep. Bring that pleat up a little bit. Yep. And get a little pleat in there. Yep. Okay. Let's just fucking... Oh, God. Which one was it? It was this one. I'm sure of it. And a 1, and a 2, and a pokeroo. Okay, that works. Where's that pokey bit? Pokey bit. So I'm just poking the center of each circle. Make it look like a kind of button thing. Probably poke those in a little too far. They're not amazing, but what are you gonna do? Fuck. Good enough. I'm done. I'm done, he says, as he fusses with the putty some more. Maybe I can smooth this out a bit. God, I hate myself. I'm gonna regret this. Whatever. Be done. Okay, that's pretty much how you sculpt hammer pants. Take it and be fruitful. Where's the focus? Da-da-da-da-da. You can see the pleats along the bottom, how they kind of like tuck in. And like the little pleats in the middle of the big pleats. You can see the kind of angle where they puff out, like around where the knees would be. Bingo! That's how we do. What do we got? We got 5 minutes. Maybe I should see. Does anyone have questions? Maybe I can't sculpt anything for you in the next 5 minutes, but I could answer some questions. If anybody's got some questiones. There's my Zashin. What are people saying? Spice. Vanilla acid. Crisscross died. Yeah, that was not so good. It'd be fun to do arm poofies like old hammer. Oh yeah, Jacob, you could totally do arm poofies like this. This is how you sculpt arm poofies. You just put them on someone's arm instead of on their leg. That is absolutely how you do it. We talked about the 2 setups. How do you deal with rough textures after green stuff dries, like small lines and tiny divots? Holy hand grenade, the way you deal with rough textures and green stuff, you got to deal with them before it dries. You can deal with them after it dries, but the way to deal with them before it dries is to use a silicone shaper like this, get lots of lube on it, and then just go and kind of smooth everything out with it. That's why the tools I was using before, the flat ones, are silicone shapers, because it's a lot harder to get the rough stuff out of green stuff once it's dried, but before it's dried, silicone shapers are very useful for it. If you have a flat surface, use one of these like chisel head ones. And for like swoopy robes, use this thing to swoop them out. I'm gonna put these stamps away before I lose them. Okay, what other questions did people ask? Questions. No. Pull out the tainted contemptor next. Jonas, that's a good suggestion. You weren't here fast enough. We talked about crisscross. We talked about NSYNC, Vanilla Ice, Vanilla Acid. My second guess was Spike Girls. Spice Girls is also too late. Yeah, you got to remember that, like, I'm old. I'm an old man filled with regret, Mr. Cobb. And back in my day, the MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice were pre-Spice Girls, pre-Backstreet Boys, pre-NSYNC, all that stuff. I feel like NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, that was like 98, 99. I'm pretty sure MC Hammer and them were like earlier 90s, like maybe like 92. You don't like how green stuff is so sticky. Happy little accident. Oh yeah. What do people say? A hood. Okay, Nils, that's a really good suggestion, sculpting a hood. But I don't know that I can do that in 2 minutes. Actually, maybe I can. Because I did hoods on... Okay, I'm going to regret this. No, I don't want to ruin her head. I'm going to put a hood on. Oh, where's that dude? That ugly dude. Here, ugly dude! Oh, he's already got a hood. Fuck it, I'll give him another hood. Yes, yes, I know I'm supposed to stop. Go away. Let's give dude with hood another hood. Because hoods are easy. So I did this on the Modern Synthesis website. Let's get this guy out of here so I don't ruin him. To do a hood, you take a blob of green stuff, you put it on a guy's head. Like so. This is not going to be perfect because he already has a hood. Maybe we need a little more green stuff. There are some elements of Hammer Pants physics in this. So you get a green stuff thing, and if you want the hood to be on his head, what you want to do is you want to smear it down the sides and the back. Oh, can you even see that? Haven't done this in a while, but just like riding a bike, right? God, this would be a lot easier if he actually had a head. You know that feeling when you're sculpting in your garage and you hear weird little sounds, like there's a creature in here with you and you freak the fuck out? Okay, so you put the blob on his head and you kind of smear it down either side of his head. I might not have enough green stuff here. And also I have way too much green stuff in the front and not enough in the back. So what I'm going to do, because this is getting like this blobby curve, you don't want that. So actually by doing this, you're like helping reinforce the hood because you're like smearing it around and getting the rough shape. Here. Yeah, so you kind of smear it down on the sides of the head, but you don't want to like get it flat on the front. You want to keep that peak at the front. I should put this in the other mode. Hold on. Okay, let's see if this works better. You want to keep that peak in the front. Keep smearing down, smearing down, smearing down. Keep the peak at the top. Smear it down in the back. Smear it down. Smear it down. Oh, there's a lot of green stuff right there. Smear it down. Smear it down. This guy's not ideal, again, because he doesn't have a head. He has a hood. But yeah, bring it down kind of like this. And the key point is like you're starting to see the shape of the hood there. So when I sculpt hoods, they have 3 points. 3 points where 2 lines meet. Head to head, toe to toe, let's go. Our love is very late. Till morning comes. Ooh, let's just late. Okay, that song makes no sense. So when you're in a situation like this and you got a lot of putty at the back and not a lot of putty at the front, you bring the pleasure from the back to the front where the business is happening, like so. You can smear it around like that, get a little more, because you want weight in this area, you want weight in this area, but it's kind of curving in like that. If you like that kind of hood, that's fine. I don't. So you take this, you kind of smear it around, bring it to the front, bring it to the front. You can also bring this down. You can also do a bit of these, which is like smearing it. Oh shit. You don't want that. You want to keep like a crisp edge at the front. So you can just kind of go in and fix it like that. And now, la pièce de résistance. Those 3 points where 2 lines meet, like you do with your French girls. Okay, so you take like a spoon tool or something and you can like tuck in the bottom part of the hood, kind of like that. Tuck it in underneath so it looks like it's attached. Oh, someone is roaring down the street. Where's that speed bump when we need it? So yeah, you got that kind of like seam between the hood and the rest of his cowl. Got that. This one needs a little more. Get that fold into, you see this? That fold into the kind of cowl thing. Man, we're going to do this. We're going to do a hood in 10 minutes. This is how I did all my like Delac style Gene Stealer cult gangers before there were Delac. Okay, now this is the most important point. You go and you take a pointy tool like this, and you can point up the hood here, and then you can point out the hood here. You're getting that kind of bulge thing. That's why you needed more putty down here. So you can kind of bring that down and kind of bulge it out at the sides because the hood can kind of do that. Again, different hoods, but this is kind of like a classic hood. And you got that A-frame kind of thing, and you can reinforce that by putting have it kind of like folding in here and here. You can like do that extreme to cover the face more. And then you bring it up there, and then you bring it kind of out here, out to the side and down. And then you can tuck it in underneath. Again, easier if this guy had a head. But are you seeing the kind of general shape that I'm getting to there? Where you got that fold, that bulge out down here where the hood kind of like puffs naturally. You got another one there, and you can fiddle with the weight of it. If you want it to look really weighty, you can bring it way down. But the key is that kind of like swoop in, that curve in at the sides, at the bottom there. So yeah, the points of the hood are like that make it a hood are here and here, where you got the like swoopy bulge thing, here where you got the peak, and then here where you have like the drooping in at the sides. Again, you can play with this to get different kinds of hoods depending on how you want yours to work, but that's the general shape of it. And it also just starts with a bulge on the guy's head, and you just like push it down and bring it around. And then, but this curling in at the bottom is really helpful to get the kind of like hood feeling. If he had a head, we'd bring this one in and we'd bring this one in, and it would kind of meet under his chin. So you kind of tuck it in under his chin. This one's a little weird because he's already got a cowl. I guess his hood is tucked into his cowl. That's what we're going to do here. So it's kind of like tucking in along that seam that we made there. Here the seam's a little weird. It's tucking in under his mask. Who the fuck knows? Yeah. And then like once you got that, the rest of this is just gravy. Like you look at the putty, you're like, oh, I made a weird seam there. Okay, well I'm going to reinforce that seam. And in fact, get like a thicker one because it is better with kind of like fabric. And then you're like, oh, well, looks like there's maybe a little seam in here and maybe a little bit of pouting there, or bunching or whatever. And then you look here and you're like, oh, there's I did something weird here. Let's push that in and kind of bring that up. We need to have something here. Let's kind of bring that there. Don't do this too much, because if you do it too much, it's going to look really ratty. But just, I don't know, read the putty. See what kind of happy little mistakes you made. There's a happy little mistake. You can get like, and depending on like how you do this, you can make it more rigid. If there's less of these little wrinkles, you can make it look more like a softer cloth by putting more of the wrinkles. You just don't want to overdo it. And you don't want to press them in too hard, because that'll kind of work against you. Just kind of like lightly paint them in with your silicone brush, silicone shaper. And, okay, I'm getting a little extreme here. There is how you hood. Raccoons are really having a ball on the roof. Yeah, so that's a rough hood. Pretty easy though. I did a bunch of these on cultists, Gene Stealer cultists. The key mistakes you can make is making this too thick. Like this is probably a little thick. I could have made it a little thinner before yeah, so don't make it too thick, because then it doesn't read as like sackcloth. It reads more as just like a blob. But yeah, hopefully you found that helpful. There you go. This video is about sculpting cloth. Who knew? Thank you, Jacob, for getting us started on that train. And who suggested the hood? Nilsbips, thanks for suggesting the hood, buddy. I'm glad we did it, because that is a really easy thing to do. I really want to do cloaks. If we had more time, we'd do cloaks. That's pretty neat. You could cut the stream down into how to sculpt vid. Yeah, Jacob, I've thought about cutting down the streams into how to sculpt vids, but I haven't done it yet because it takes more time. So my goal is to get more of this content out for you guys to watch, and then hopefully you have the patience to sit through me kind of blathering on and kind of going all over the place. But cutting it down into a how to sculpt vid is definitely a really good idea that I should probably explore sometime. So there you go, 10-minute hood from a blob on a dude's head. In fact, it's so good you can sculpt a hood on a guy with a hood. Who knew? Yeah, Holy Hand Grenade, you really got to get this tool. Did I miss the NID stuff? Sean, we're not doing NID stuff this time. I did like a request thing. I'm only doing an hour. So I just got people to request stuff. And the first half of the video was Jacob asking me how to sculpt hammer pants. Like kind of parachute pants. These also work for like floofy arms on Empire guys. And then the second part of the video at the very end was how to sculpt a quick hood. But we'll be back to Tyranids next Wednesday for the mega stream, so you can look forward to that. I'm going to be doing it starting early and doing a later one as well. So I'll probably do 2 streams that one day. I don't know how that's going to work, but okay, I will go and I will talk to Hydra about getting 40 silicone shapers, and then I will see about having a giveaway. But it will only be a YouTube giveaway. So who needs them? Holy Hand Grenade needs them. Bradley, you need a silicone shaper. Okay, you know what? We're doing the giveaway right now. You guys are on the stream. I want you to send me an email. And here is my email. I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, but I'm doing it. Send me an email right now. Bradley, Holy Hand Grenade. Who else needs one of these fancy German silicone shapers? Who needs a bullet shaper? Send me an email. Can you see my email? I posted it, but it's got like an orange thing on it. Jacob, you don't have to buy one. Okay, so Bradley, send me an email right now. Jacob, if you want one, send me an email right now. Steve, were you the one who originally said you need... No, Holy Hand Grenade. Send me an email right now at that email address, and we'll get you hooked up. I'll talk to Zhydra about getting some of these amazing sculpting tools because people need them so bad. Because I think this is the second time Holy Hand Grenade has asked for one. So if you want in on this, email me right now because this offer is ending soon. Operators are standing by. If you're watching this on the recording of the stream, this is why you should tune in live, because weird stuff like this happens. I also offered to send people epoxy sculpt before, but no one emailed me. So I hope someone emails me this time, because I'm real sad if no one does. Oh, Orange thing is your name. Thanks, Jacob. Was there any other questions here? We need the hookup. Yeah, okay. What lube are you using? Oh, Sean, I'm using Nivea. This was recommended to me by Hydra, and it works perfectly. You don't have to wash it off your models after you put it on. Everyone asked me that. They're like, oh, but it's oily. Like, surely you have to wash your models. I've never washed my models. And it works just fine. Proof that I do paint things from time to time. Got these guys. Did some sculpting on them. Used Nivea to lubricate my tools. And then I painted them. Didn't have to wash them. And I painted them like very soon after I sculpted them. Like I think within the same week. So yeah, I think it's because it's water-based or something. It like dries off. Yeah, this guy too. Same deal. Sculpted him, painted him, didn't have to wash it. The thing I like about Nivea is that it sticks around longer on your tools than water. And you don't need that much. Like, see this tool? See how metal it is? Okay, I rub it around in some Nivea. You can't even see the Nivea, can you? It's just like an oil on it. But that is enough to keep the green stuff from sticking. Like, see that? And you can do really great stuff. I'm pressing real hard. It's not sticking. It's sticking to my hand, but it's not sticking to the tool. So that's Nivea. You can use water too, but the issue with water is that it dries out. So got some water on here. Same deal. Oh yeah, so good. No sticky, no sticky, no sticky. But eventually it's going to start sticking. So that was a good question. put the email in the comment? What? Jacob, just send me an email. I don't know about putting an email in a comment. And we'll get you all some funky tools. So thank you for joining the stream. Sorry it was shorter than normal. Sorry we didn't do any Tyranid stuff, but I promise I will be back to Tyranid stuff next week. But for now, you got a little bonus on how to sculpt a hood. That's what it looks like. The way it gets the pointy bit at the back there, that helps it too. Look like a hood. But yeah, it's all about having that point at the top and the points at the sides to enforce it, and then the kind of like droop between the points. And you also got to learn how to sculpt hammer pants, you know, for your Japanese sectorial army that you're clearly building right now. Those buttons are not pretty, but this is what buttons are supposed to look like when you stamp them nicely. But yeah, you can use these for poofy shoulders. Hopefully you found it useful. Thank you all for being here. That was great. Thanks for humoring me with my weird request a sculpt video. I feel like I want to do a bigger one of these and like kind of advertise it properly. I won't always be able to sculpt things as quickly as this, but I think I could rather quickly give people some strategies for like what kind of armatures to use, what to look out for, and yeah, try to take it from there. So that is all for today's stream. Thank you so much for showing up. No, thank you, Steve Watts. Thanks for giving me a butcher's. I appreciate that. I'll put your email in the comments after the video post if you want. Jacob, no point in putting my email in the comments after the video post because people who are watching this not live have already missed the giveaway. Because that's how I like to do giveaways. I don't like doing, follow me, tag 1,000 people. I want to like, when someone comes to me and goes, shit, I really wish I could get that tool. I'll be like, that sounds like a giveaway. Let's do that right now. So yeah, thank you for offering, but there's no point in putting the email in the comments after the video posts because the giveaway has finished. And if you want to get in on the next giveaway, maybe tune in to the stream. Maybe if you're one of the European friends who wasn't able to make this giveaway, this stream, and you tune in to next week's stream that I start earlier for all of y'all, maybe we can do something cool over there too. So yes, until then, keep on sculpting. Keep on putting the lotion on its tools. It puts the lotion on its tools or it gets the hose. Good night.